especially where this is concerned. Again, I go back to what opportunities um, have happened right now with COVID 19, and for us all to understand we don't want to go back to what we had before this. And it's time for us to come together. And so my biggest thing and what the topic I'm working on with our summer pipeline students this year, in addition to law in your community, how what do you do when you engage with the police, is find your lane. Find your lane. Um, Whatever your passion is, of course, mine is law enforcement reform. But if it is education, especially education, look at we don't know what's about to happen with that. You know, if it's healthcare, wherever our disparities are, because that's what we see are the aftermath of the disparities. And so find your lane. When Mai talks about the community needs to step up, again, for me, I say those who can do, because there are those who they'll do well just to get themselves in order. You know what I mean? And as the water rises, and I say that's my as the water rises, all boats rise. So the healthier ones that are able carry the others until we all are doing better. We are still dealing with the effects and the ravages of the drug epidemic, of inadequate housing, of inadequate education. So those who can do. And I believe that we are being mobilized. You don't have sustained demonstrations, not only nationally, internationally, when it's business as usual. It's not. It is no business as usual anymore. It's a new day. Amen. This is not going back to where we were. I can't see it. I can't see it. I know I'm not going to be a part of that. And I have so many people, my phone doesn't stop ringing. My emails don't stop popping. Nothing. I don't have a free hour in the day. And I'm cool with that because that's good living. Right. So I don't believe that anybody who's able is going to be able to rest on any laurels at this point. We are about moving forward. Amen. So thank you for this.
To that, what I feel like is next. I'll put it back there. What I feel like really is next, and I'm glad, Sharma, you spoke on the education piece. I'm not gonna lie, I've been extremely stressed out about next for our kids. Because here in Columbus, our kids are going to, and my kids they go year round. They start school next week. It's 2 days a week in class and 3 days at home. I know we already suffering from education problems. Some of our parents and grandparents is raising kids now. Let's throw that out there. And then they probably got a 7th to 8th grade education. Some of the parents who are raising kids do not have adequate education. And now it's all online. So now we expect for the parents, God forbid they working, to be able to find a way to have somebody watch their kids on the day that they are not at school. And trust that they're going to help them better their education. I'm going to be honest, our kids are about to fall behind. Yep. That's what's next. If we don't find a way to address that right now, our kids are going to fall behind. Our high school students in Columbus are not going to school until the 3rd quarter. That means next year. And that's a real problem for me. So what I'm doing is, and I don't know if I want to say we got to call them out, but these churches got big buildings. They got a lot of classrooms. They got a lot of space where kids can socially distance and be in these classrooms, getting assistance on their homework. And at the same time, we can be putting the education that they need from us in their brains. We have the opportunity to do real freedom schools with the curriculum of the city schools already their curriculum. So we're going to make sure that they pass your test that you want them to pass. But we need to educate them so they can pass our test too. So we have that opportunity right now to make sure that our kids are getting educated by the city and by us. And we need to call on these organizations that have the space to open their doors, let our kids in. We make sure we got the I ain't gonna want to say the best, but the right mentors in these spaces to help these kids further their education and teach them about themselves, teach them about life skills, teach them about how to understand your self-worth. The problem is these kids don't understand self-worth. If I'm not worth nothing, do I care if I die tomorrow? Do I care if I kill you tomorrow? And like that's our next step. Like it's a million things that need to get done, policies that need to be changed and all that. But if we drop the ball right now with our kids' education, all that
is important is continuing discussions just like this one, bridging worlds from people that don't actually experience this violence and this oppression on a daily basis and bridging them to people that experience this and are able to tell their stories. Also, conversation is great, but action is really what we need right now, especially with the current Black Lives Matter movement, obviously all the advocacy that is going around. I think it's the best time for us to propose as much policy that we can, because people are really listening, people are opening their ears and considering other points of view for the first times in their lives. So I think we really need to work on advocating for the youth, the people that are being oppressed, dealing with this violence, and move forward from there.
Viewers that are watching this, what's next? I urge you, I ask you, I beg you to go up to Black youth and tell them that this is not their fault. That's number one. And number two, what's next is I am super excited to see what the Youth Council team is going to be implementing actually starting next week. It is powerful because what's next is that we need broadband in this city for our youth due to what's happened with COVID-19, and internet in general is a utility that everyone should have access to, and it is unacceptable that 40% of our youth do not have